Alhamdulillah. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most gracious, the most merciful, peace and blessings be upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. My beloved brothers and sisters, imagine a moment in your life where every prayer you've ever made is not just heard but answered immediately. Imagine the peace, the clarity and the confidence that floods your heart when you realize there is a secret path hidden in plain sight that can make Allah respond to your du'as instantly. Today we unlock that path, the key that transforms your supplications from mere words into unstoppable spiritual power. Sincerity is the hidden engine behind every dua that is answered. It is the fire that ignites the connection between your heart and Allah. Without sincerity, your prayers are like words tossed into the wind. They may reach the sky, but they lack the depth and energy to touch the heart of the divine. True sincerity comes from a place within you where there is no pretense, no desire to impress others, no hope of reward except from Allah alone. It is an act of pure honesty where your soul speaks directly to its creator, knowing that he sees every intention, every hidden thought, and every whispered plea. Many people make the mistake of measuring their dua by the length of their words or the frequency with which they pray. They believe that repeating phrases over and over or using elaborate language increases their chance of being heard. But the reality is far simpler, yet far more powerful. The strength of your dua lies in the authenticity of your heart. When you pray with sincerity, even a single word whispered in complete honesty can move the heavens. It is not the quantity that matters, but the quality, the depth of your devotion and the purity of your intention. Sincerity also demands that you look inward, that you cleanse your heart of distractions and hidden agendas. If your prayer is motivated by vanity, by the desire to show others your piety, or by selfish ambition, it loses its spiritual force. A sincere heart is free from such attachments. It approaches Allah with humility, with vulnerability, and with the unshakable belief that He knows what is best for you. It is a heart that admits its weaknesses, its mistakes, and its dependence on divine mercy. This type of honesty is magnetic to the blessings of Allah. When you make dua sincerely, you begin to experience a transformation within yourself. Your connection with Allah deepens, and you feel a sense of peace that cannot be found anywhere else. The mind becomes calmer, the heart lighter, and even the challenges of life begin to feel smaller because you know that a higher power is listening, that a divine presence is responding. Sincerity in dua is not just about asking for something. It is about opening yourself completely, without holding back, and allowing the relationship between you and your Creator to flourish. Think about it. When you speak sincerely to someone you love, they feel it. Their heart responds to yours, and a bond is created that goes beyond words. The same principle applies to your relationship with Allah. Sincerity carries a unique energy, a vibration that travels beyond the material world. It cuts through distractions, doubts, and barriers. It is a language of the heart that does not require elaborate phrases or rituals. Allah does not measure the length of your speech. He measures the truthfulness of your intention. Every sincere plea, no matter how small, is heard and valued. Moreover, sincerity creates a mindset of trust and patience. When your heart is genuine in its plea, you are less likely to feel despair if the response is not immediate. Instead, you learn to trust in Allah's wisdom, knowing that every delay is purposeful, every challenge is a lesson, and every answer will come in its perfect time. Sincere du'as are not desperate cries, they are confident conversations with the Creator, rooted in faith, honesty, and unwavering hope. Ultimately, sincerity is the foundation upon which every spiritual success is built. It is the force that turns ordinary prayers into extraordinary experiences. When your heart is pure, your words resonate with power, and your du'as are no longer empty utterances. They become instruments of divine transformation. The secret to making Allah answer your dua instantly does not lie in complicated rituals or endless repetition. It lies in the authenticity of your heart, the honesty of your intention, and the sincerity with which you approach your Lord. A sincere heart is a heart that is heard, a heart that is valued, and a heart that carries the potential to unlock miracles. Humility is one of the most powerful forces a believer can cultivate, yet it is often overlooked in the pursuit of answered du'as. The truth is, arrogance, pride, and self-importance create invisible barriers between the heart and Allah's mercy. When we approach our Creator with a sense of entitlement or an inflated sense of self, our prayers lose their spiritual weight. But when we embrace humility, when we truly recognize our own limitations and our complete dependence on Allah, the doors of divine blessings begin to open. Humility is not weakness, it is strength disguised as simplicity, a quiet force that draws mercy, guidance, and instant response from the most merciful. To be humble is to acknowledge that no matter how much effort we put into planning, striving, or controlling our lives, we are never in charge of the ultimate outcome. It is the recognition that our knowledge is limited, our power is finite, and our life is in the hands of the one who created the heavens and the earth. This mindset transforms the way we make dua. We no longer demand or insist, instead we submit with sincerity, trusting that Allah knows what is best and that His wisdom far surpasses our understanding. A humble heart does not negotiate with the divine, it surrenders, it leans entirely on Allah's infinite mercy. Humility also creates a profound sense of presence in our prayers. When we approach Allah as a humble servant, our words carry weight, our intentions are pure, and our hearts are entirely focused. There is no pretense, no desire to impress, no selfish agenda. The heart is stripped of arrogance, and what remains is a genuine plea from a soul that knows its own insignificance and yet believes fully in the power of its Creator. This is the moment when du'as transform from simple requests into powerful acts of faith that the universe responds to. Moreover, humility allows us to recognize and value the small blessings in our lives, creating a cycle of gratitude and faith that strengthens our connection with Allah. When we accept our dependence on Him, we also develop patience. We understand that delays in our du'as are not denials, but part of a divine plan far greater than our comprehension. A humble heart does not panic when answers seem slow. It trusts that every response will arrive at the perfect time, in the perfect form. This trust, this surrender, multiplies the power of our supplications and aligns us with the mercy and wisdom of Allah. Humility is also about letting go of pride in our achievements and understanding that every talent, every success, and every opportunity is a gift from Allah. When we recognize that our lives are not entirely our own, when we see ourselves as instruments rather than owners, we open ourselves to infinite possibilities. The most profound du'as are they not from a position of superiority or entitlement, but from a place of need, vulnerability, and complete surrender. It is the realization that we are nothing without Allah that transforms a simple prayer into a magnet for divine blessings. Another aspect of humility is how it shapes our interactions with others and ourselves. A humble person prays not only for personal gain, but for the well-being of others. They do not approach Allah with selfishness. They include mercy, forgiveness, and compassion in their supplications. This selflessness amplifies the power of dua, for Allah responds to hearts that are soft, sincere, and free of arrogance. A heart that knows its own weakness is a heart that trusts completely in the strength of Allah, and this trust becomes the key to unlocking instant answers. Ultimately, humility is the silent force that transforms prayer into power. It is the inner acknowledgement that we are limited, that we cannot control the world, and that our lives are entirely dependent on Allah's mercy. When you approach your du'as with humility, your heart becomes a vessel ready to receive blessings, guidance, and solutions that you could never imagine. Humility does not make you weak, it makes you unstoppable. It aligns your soul with the infinite wisdom of the Creator and opens doors that arrogance could never touch. The secret to making Allah respond instantly to your du'as lies not in loud declarations, lengthy supplications, or external displays of piety. It lies in the quiet, unwavering humility of your heart. A humble heart is a heart that is heard, a heart that is valued, and a heart that transforms ordinary prayers into extraordinary miracles. When you surrender your pride and embrace humility, the impossible begins to happen and the doors of divine mercy open wide before you. Timing is a secret yet powerful ingredient in making your du'as effect. The universe itself operates in rhythms, and the moments when the heavens are most attentive to the calls of the heart are not random. They are moments of divine opportunity, windows of spiritual power that can turn your supplications into immediate answers. Choosing the right moments to make dua is not just about scheduling your prayers, it is about aligning your heart with the natural flow of divine mercy. Those who understand this secret experience a connection so strong that their prayers seem to transcend time, reaching the heart of Allah instantly. Certain times in life are spiritually charged, moments when Allah draws closer to His servants, when mercy and blessings are concentrated. The early hours of the morning when the world is still asleep and the heart is quiet are one of the most potent times for da'ah. In these moments, the soul is uncluttered, the mind is calm, and every word carries extraordinary weight. The last third of the night, when darkness is deepest and hearts are tender, is another precious window. The one who wakes during this sacred time, even for a few minutes, finds that the connection with Allah is sharper, the heart more receptive, and the du'as more likely to be answered. Moments of genuine distress, when the soul is overwhelmed by challenges and the heart turns entirely to Allah, are also moments of immense power. When worldly support fails, when every other door seems closed, the heart that cries out sincerely to its Creator stands at the very edge of divine mercy. It is in these times that du'as can be answered almost instantaneously, for Allah's attention is drawn to those who seek Him with total dependence. These are not just moments of desperation, they are moments of spiritual awakening, moments where the heart's sincerity meets divine readiness. Charity, acts of kindness, and selfless service also create spiritually powerful moments. When you give without expectation, when your actions are purely for the sake of Allah, your heart is in perfect alignment with His mercy. Making dua immediately after such acts magnifies its impact, for your intention has already signaled humility, devotion, and faith. These moments are golden because they combine action with prayer, sincerity with service, creating a spiritual resonance that cannot be ignored. Understanding the power of timing also requires mindfulness in daily life. Life is full of small opportunities that are often overlooked. The quiet moments after Fajr, the pause before sleep, the instant after sincere repentance. These moments are spiritually charged because the heart is open, receptive, and honest. A dua made in such a moment carries energy and clarity that routine prayers may lack. It is not the quantity of prayers that matters in these moments, but the awareness and presence of heart. Awareness turns ordinary time into sacred time, transforming every heartfelt plea into a powerful call to the divine. Choosing the right moments is also about intention. The heart must be fully present, undistracted, and yearning. If the mind is wandering, if the soul is distracted by worldly concerns, the power of the moment is lost. The effectiveness of your dua is not measured by your physical posture or the words you recite, but by the depth of your focus, the purity of your heart, and the clarity of your surrender. Every second of presence, every moment of genuine awareness increases the chance that your prayer will be answered immediately. Ultimately, timing and sincerity work hand in hand. A heartfelt dua at a spiritually powerful moment becomes a force that resonates across the heavens. The secret is not just to ask, but to ask at the moment when the heart, the soul, and the universe align. Those who master this secret find that their prayers are no longer random or delayed. They become potent instruments of divine connection. Choosing the right moments to pray is not a ritual, it is a strategy. A spiritual practice that transforms ordinary supplication into extraordinary results. When you learn to recognize and seize these moments, when you understand that the power of your du'as is amplified by timing, you unlock a hidden key to divine favor. The right moment can make your prayers effortless, instantaneous, and transformative. It is the rhythm of devotion, the harmony of sincerity, and the alignment of the heart with divine timing that turns a simple dua into a miraculous answer. Those who embrace this secret no longer wait. They act, they connect, and they witness the incredible speed with which Allah responds to hearts that call Him at the perfect time. Persistence is the heartbeat of every powerful dua. It is the force that separates fleeting prayers from those that move the heavens. Many people give up too soon, believing that delayed responses mean their prayers are unheard or unanswered. But the truth is that the strength of your dua is measured not by how quickly it is answered, but by how relentlessly you continue to seek. Persistence is not stubbornness, it is unwavering faith, a refusal to let doubt take root, and a declaration to the universe that your heart will not be silenced until it meets the mercy of Allah. The path to answered du'as is rarely instant for those who are impatient, yet for those who persist with sincerity, miracles are inevitable. Each repeated dua is a testament of faith, a proof of your reliance on Allah, and a signal of your devotion. When you continue to ask, to hope, and to believe, you are not merely repeating words, you are building a spiritual bridge between your heart and the infinite mercy of Allah. Every repetition strengthens the connection, and every repetition deepens why. Our own faith, persistence in dua, also transforms the soul. It teaches patience, endurance, and resilience. Life is full of challenges, and answers may not come in the timing we desire. Yet the one who continues to pray despite delays discovers an inner strength that surpasses ordinary human capacity. This inner strength is not just beneficial for du'as, it carries into every area of life. When you learn to persist in your spiritual pursuits, you develop the resilience to overcome obstacles, to navigate hardships, and to face the unknown with courage. Persistence becomes a habit, a mindset, and a way of life. Many people fail to understand that a delayed response is not a denial. Every delay is a form of preparation, a period in which your heart, your intention, and your circumstances are being aligned for the most perfect answer. Persistence allows you to remain steady, focused, and hopeful during this time. Each repeated supplication demonstrates your trust, your commitment, and your refusal to let despair take over. This very act of persistence strengthens your spiritual state, increases your reward, and ensures that when the answer arrives, it is fully aligned with divine wisdom. Persistence also requires faith without seeing. It is easy to pray when things seem to go your way, when signs of hope are visible, but true persistence is asking even when the world says no, even when your heart feels heavy, and even when every logical possibility seems exhausted. This is the kind of persistence that attracts divine attention. Allah responds to hearts that refuse to quit, hearts that show unwavering trust, and hearts that demonstrate relentless hope. The universe bends to the perseverance of a devoted soul. Another dimension of persistence is consistency. It is not enough to pray intensely for one day and abandon it the next. True persistence means creating a rhythm of devotion, a continuous dialogue with Allah that does not waver based on circumstances. Daily persistence, even through small acts of consistent prayer, builds momentum, nurtures faith, and strengthens the connection with the divine. Over time, this momentum creates a spiritual energy so strong that the heart feels heard even before the answer arrives. Persistence is also about maintaining sincerity and humility while asking repeatedly. Repetition without sincerity can become routine, but persistence infused with genuine intent becomes irresistible to Allah's mercy. Each time you persist with a humble heart, with pure intentions, and with unwavering faith, you are sending a signal to the heavens that you are serious, that you are devoted, and that your heart will not rest until it experiences the divine response. Ultimately, persistence breeds miracles because it demonstrates the qualities that Allah loves: faith, trust, patience, and humility. It proves that you are not content with superficial effort, that you are willing to endure hardship, and that you place complete reliance on the most merciful. Miracles are rarely given to those who give up. They are reserved for those who continue to knock, continue to ask, and continue to believe, no matter how long the wait. Persistence transforms ordinary prayers into extraordinary answers, ordinary faith into unshakable trust, and ordinary hearts into vessels for divine mercy. When you persist in your du'as, you do more than ask. You demonstrate strength, devotion, and the certainty that Allah's wisdom surpasses all understanding. Persistence is the bridge between desire and fulfillment, between hope and reality. Those who master persistence in their prayers discover that miracles are not rare. They are inevitable, waiting for hearts that refuse to surrender. Gratitude is one of the most powerful keys to unlocking the blessings of Allah, and it plays a profound role in making du'as effective. Many people pray with their hearts focused solely on what they lack, on what they desire, or on what they hope to achieve. Yet they overlook the transformative power of saying Alhamdulillah, of being genuinely thankful for what already exists in their lives. Gratitude is not merely a polite expression or a ritual. It is a state of the heart that multiplies the impact of every prayer. When you approach Allah with thankfulness, your words carry energy your heart resonates with. Sincerity and your du'as become magnets for mercy, guidance, and instant response. When you cultivate gratitude, you shift your focus from scarcity to abundance. Instead of approaching Allah with a mindset of complaining or demanding, you come with a heart that recognizes the countless blessings already present. Every breath, every heartbeat, every sunrise, and every moment of comfort is a reminder of Allah's generosity. A heart that is aware of its blessings prays differently. It prays with joy, with hope, and with trust, because it knows that the one who has already provided so much will continue to provide, will continue to answer, and will continue to guide. Gratitude transforms prayer from a plea into a conversation of trust and love. Gratitude also strengthens faith. When you acknowledge the blessings you already have, you build confidence in Allah's mercy and wisdom. You remind yourself that you are never alone, that every difficulty carries a lesson, and that every answer prayer is proof that Allah's hand is always near. This recognition empowers your du'as, for faith and trust amplify the likelihood of instant response. A heart full of gratitude is a heart that is aligned with divine rhythm, and alignment with the divine ensures that your prayers are not just heard, they are embraced. The act of expressing gratitude immediately after a prayer is particularly powerful. When you thank Allah not only for what you receive, but also for the journey, the effort, and the lessons, you create a spiritual momentum that strengthens your connection. Gratitude does not wait for the answer, it begins in the present moment. By being thankful before the fulfillment, you demonstrate trust in Allah's plan and acceptance of His wisdom. This preemptive gratitude transforms the energy of your heart, making your du'as more compelling and your connection with Allah more profound. Gratitude also teaches humility, which is another essential factor for answered prayers. When you are thankful, you recognize that nothing in your life is truly yours. It is all a gift, a blessing, a mercy from Allah. This acknowledgement softens the heart, removes arrogance, and creates space for divine response. A grateful heart does not demand, it asks, it trusts, and it believes. It is this blend of humility, awareness, and thankfulness that makes du'as irresistible to the heavens. Moreover, gratitude has a compounding effect. The more you thank Allah, the more blessings you notice, and the more blessings you notice, the more thankful you become. This cycle increases the spiritual energy of your heart and amplifies the power of your du'as. Each act of gratitude builds momentum, creating a spiritual resonance that draws mercy, guidance, and solutions effortlessly. In this way, gratitude is not just a virtue, it is a tool, a strategy, and a practice that multiplies the effectiveness of every prayer. Even in moments of difficulty, gratitude holds extraordinary power. It is easy to be thankful when life is smooth, but the heart that finds reasons to be grateful in hardship becomes extraordinary. Such a heart is heard quickly because it demonstrates faith, resilience, and unwavering trust in Allah's wisdom. Gratitude during trials shows that your heart is not dependent on circumstances, but on the mercy and generosity of Allah. This realization elevates the energy of your du'as, making them vibrant, powerful, and more likely to be answered instantly. Ultimately, gratitude transforms your spiritual perspective. It changes how you pray, how you think, and how you feel. A grateful heart approaches Allah with confidence, joy, and unwavering hope. It does not demand, it trusts. It does not despair, it believes. It does not focus on lack, it celebrates abundance. The secret to multiplying the answers to your du'as is simple yet profound. Be grateful for what you have, and your heart will attract what you need. Gratitude turns ordinary prayers into extraordinary blessings, ordinary faith into extraordinary trust, and ordinary hearts into extraordinary vessels of divine mercy. When you embrace gratitude fully, every dua you make becomes a force of spiritual attraction, a conversation of faith, and a doorway to instant answers. It is not just what you ask that matters, it is how thankful your heart is for the blessings already given that determines how quickly, powerfully, and abundantly Allah responds. Faith is the most powerful force a believer possesses, and it serves as the ultimate key to making du'as effective and transformative. Faith is not merely a belief in Allah's existence. It is a deep, unwavering trust that He is aware of your every thought, every struggle, and every desire. It is the conviction that no barrier, whether visible or invisible, can stand in the way of His mercy. When your faith is strong, obstacles that once seemed insurmountable begin to crumble, challenges transform into opportunities, and prayers that once felt delayed become answered with astonishing speed. Faith is the lens through which the impossible becomes possible, and it is the energy that removes every barrier between your heart and see Allah's response. Many people fail to realize that doubts are one of the greatest barriers to answered du'as. Doubt weakens the connection between the heart and the divine, creating invisible walls that prevent prayers from reaching their full potential. When a believer prays with absolute faith, without questioning the wisdom or timing of Allah, these walls dissolve. Faith replaces hesitation with trust, fear with courage, and uncertainty with unwavering hope. It is faith that transforms a simple supplication into a powerful spiritual signal that Allah cannot ignore. True faith demands belief even when circumstances seem bleak. It requires the heart to continue calling out, even when the world offers no encouragement, even when logic suggests impossibility. The one who prays with faith does not rely on chance or coincidence. They rely on the certainty of Allah's wisdom and mercy. Faith is not passive. It is active, vibrant, and alive. It is the energy that propels you to continue seeking, continue trusting, and continue believing, no matter how long the journey may seem. Faith also eliminates fear, which is often the invisible barrier preventing prayers from being answered. Fear of failure, fear of inadequacy, or fear of being unworthy can cloud the heart and weaken the power of dua. But when faith is present, fear dissolves. The heart stands strong, confident that Allah is listening, aware, and capable of responding in ways beyond imagination. Faith reassures the soul that every prayer is meaningful, every plea is noticed, and every effort is valued. When fear is replaced with faith, the heart becomes a magnetic force, drawing blessings, guidance, and answers effortlessly. Persistence, humility, gratitude, and sincerity all gain their true potency when combined with faith. Faith is the foundation upon which every other principle rests. Without faith, persistence can feel exhausting, humility can feel empty, and gratitude can feel mechanical. With faith, every act becomes charged with spiritual energy. Every repetition of dua becomes a declaration of trust. Every act of humility becomes a doorway, and every expression of gratitude becomes a magnet for mercy. Faith transforms the ordinary into extraordinary and the unseen into reality. Faith also bridges the gap between human limitation and divine capability. As humans, we are bound by time, space, and circumstance. But faith allows us to transcend these limitations. It enables the believer to trust that what seems impossible to the eye is entirely possible for Allah. It allows the heart to release control, to surrender fully, and to believe that answers will come in perfect timing, in perfect ways, and in forms that exceed expectation. Faith is not blind, it is deeply aware. It sees beyond the present, understands the unseen, and embraces the certainty of Allah's infinite wisdom. When a heart is filled with faith, it becomes unstoppable. Barriers dissolve because the believer is no longer focused on obstacles. They are focused on the one who has the power to remove every obstacle. Faith creates an alignment between intention, desire, and divine will. It turns prayers into unstoppable forces, energy into action, and hope into reality. A believer with faith does not simply ask, they know they are heard, they trust they are guided, and they expect that what is promised will manifest. Ultimately, faith is the engine that drives answered du'as. It removes doubt, overcomes fear, dissolves delays, and magnifies the power of sincerity, humility, persistence, and gratitude. Faith is what allows the heart to call with certainty, to believe without seeing, and to expect without question. It is the invisible force that transforms ordinary hearts into extraordinary vessels of divine mercy. When you embrace faith fully, you create a spiritual reality where barriers cease to exist, where prayers flow effortlessly, and where Allah's response is not just possible, but inevitable. Faith does not just move mountains, it moves hearts, aligns destinies, and turns the impossible into the possible. It is the secret key to instant answers, the unshakable anchor in moments of doubt, and the spiritual power that ensures your du'as reach the heavens and return with blessings beyond imagination. Faith is not an option, it is the requirement, the weapon, and the miracle maker in every believer's journey toward answered prayers.